All right, let's get started. And people can hop on as they have time to. So, welcome to our weekly community call. We're so excited that you could take time out of your evening to hop on with us. And so, if you are new here, please drop your email in the chat so that we can get a special gift off to you for lending us some of your time this evening. We'll be going over a couple of great testimonies tonight, as well as a product highlight. And then we will take a break in our call to move on to a business portion for those who would like to hang out about social media. So to get started this evening, I'm going to have my dear, beautiful friend Caitlin from Delaware, who I had the pleasure of meeting at our annual convention in Vegas. Otherwise, we would not know each other. And I have never heard her story before. So I'm looking forward to hearing her testimony tonight. And then I will share mine and talk a little bit about Slim. So, Caitlin, take it away.
Hi everyone. Thank you for inviting me to chat with you guys. I had the pleasure of meeting Stacy and her husband and some other friends while we were at convention in Las Vegas, which was my first convention. So it was really nice meeting her, and I've loved following her journey ever since. So a little bit about me. My name is Caitlin. I'm 32. I have been married for 10 years to my husband. 13 years total together. We have two beautiful children. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. Um, can you guys hear me? You can? Okay, good. So I'm a mother of two. I also work full time in the medical field. I'm a firefighter EMT. My shifts are kind of crazy. I work 24 hours on, 48 hours off. Um, I have been using Plexus for roughly about 8 years. Um, but about a year ago, I decided to start sharing, and since then I've ranked gold, which I know Stacey will go over all the business a little bit later. But so roughly I've been using Plexus for about 8 years now. I was like never consistent until I finally sat down and made goals, and I was like, I'm ready to do this. But I got started when I was pregnant with my son. And my first OB appointment, I went in and she was like, "Oh, you're going to struggle with constipation." And I was like, "What?" It's like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, the way that the baby and your uterus are sitting on your colon, you're not going to be able to use the bathroom." And I'm instantly like, "What?" I'm 24 at the time. I'm like, there is no way, no way that I'm gonna struggle. I'm gonna struggle with using the bathroom. So I got telling a friend about it, and she was like, "You need a probiotic." And I was like, "What? What's a probiotic?" And she was like, "There's this great company called Plexus, and they have a fantastic line of health supplements that will help you be able to use the bathroom." And I was like, "All right, I'm in because I don't want to be constipated. Like it's already rough enough being pregnant. I don't, and this is my first pregnancy. I don't want to go through a bunch of issues." So, I did. I started and I loved it. And then afterwards, I kind of came off and I was like, "I don't need it. I don't really need it. I'm good." Then I was like, "No, I'm literally sleeping all day long." Of course, I'm coming off of my shift and I'm sleeping with the baby and nursing. And when the baby sleeps, I sleep. And, because they always tell you the opposite. They're like, "No, do all the things that you can while the baby's sleeping." No, I was sleeping with the baby. Nobody was going to convince me I couldn't sleep with my baby. So I was sleeping all the time and I was just so fatigued and I wouldn't say miserable, but I just didn't feel like I was like, this is what motherhood is? Like, how am I supposed to do another child if I want a second child? Um, and I finally, finally somebody was like, "What are your products doing sitting in your cabinet?" And I was like, I don't know." They were like, "Well, they don't do anything for you if you're not actually using them." I was like, "Okay, I'll start using them." Then I started to in all of this, when I was pregnant with my son and everything, I was dealing with a ton of acid reflux, and I never had that issue. But I was like, I can't eat anything red, nothing. I couldn't have Mexican. My husband loves Mexican. I was like, I hated Mexican only because I couldn't eat it without suffering. And so I struggled with acid reflux so bad. And there was nothing I could do other than chew Tums and have Tums everywhere. I had a bottle, a big bottle in my locker at work, just in case. I always had one in my car, I had one in my purse, I had one at the house. Like acid reflux was horrible, and I was taking over the counter um medication for it. And once I started to use my products and actually use them the way they're designed to use and stay consistent, I really started to see changes. I started seeing changes in my acne and in my energy, and it was crazy. And I was like, wow, this is great. Then I go to get pregnant with my second child, and I had had some complications with my son before as well. And at 22, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. And the doctor never sat down and said, "Hey, you're 22. I was moving at the time. I changed my career. I was getting married. I was doing all the things. I had all this stress going on." And the doctor never looked at me and said, "Hey, like maybe we should look in your lifestyle a little bit. Maybe we should, look at your diet, look at this." And I was drinking soda. There was a convenience store next door to where I worked at the time, because I was in the process of changing my career into a firefighter EMT, and they sold 32-ounce sodas for 99 cents. And I was like, that was great. And I would go over there twice a day and get soda, and I just had a terrible diet. But the doctor never said, "Hey, like you can change this. Like you don't have to go on medication. We can get this under control." And so I took the medication. The doctor's supposed to know best. I was 22. I was very naive and didn't know what I was doing, didn't know, anything. I was believing what the doctor was telling me. And so during my pregnancy with my son, I was on blood pressure medication. And when I finally had my son and I was taking Plexus and I was doing all the right things, the doctor said, I switched doctors, I should say that. I switched doctors, and the doctor said, "Hey, you're 20, 24 years old. You shouldn't be on blood pressure medication. You're way too young. Like you're going to spend the rest of your life on this if you don't come off of it now." And I was like, "Okay, great." Well, mind you, I didn't change anything in that time period other than taking, I mean, I had diet changes, but I was taking my products the way that I was supposed to be taking them. And he just took me off my medication. And he was like, "I want to see you in here every couple weeks. We're going to check your blood pressure." And in that time frame, I had normal blood pressure normally. I came off the medication. I didn't have any issues with it. And at the time, my backline didn't educate me on the products like I should have, but my current upline, I know so much, but they were just like, they were teaching me, they just said, "Hey, make sure you take your products." I was taking my products, didn't know other than that it was going to help me with bloating and acid reflux and all those other things. Um, so when I finally got off my blood pressure medication, when we decided to have my second, I said, "I'm not doing it. I'm not going on blood pressure medication. I'm going to do whatever I possibly can to stay off blood pressure medication. That is my end goal." And I ended up, um, I did. I stayed off my entire pregnancy with my daughter. Now, granted, my daughter did come early. She came early at 9 weeks early, due to preeclampsia. But preeclampsia is developed through the baby. It's not a condition like I've stayed on afterwards. So, I was able to come off of that, and my pregnancy with my second, being on the X Factor, the triplex, I was doing all the right things. I was living the healthy lifestyle. My pregnancy with my second, even though she came 9 weeks early, was completely different than my first. And since having my daughter, I finally, after I was done nursing, I said, "This is it. I'm going to completely change everything. I want to lose all this baby weight. I don't want to be like this anymore. I want to be the happy mom that I possibly can." So even though I used the products for 8 years, about 2 of those years, I really, really focused on everything, using the products the way that knew that they were designed to use, changing my lifestyle, my eating habits, moving my body. And since doing that, um, I have lost over 20 pounds naturally. And I like looking at pictures, I didn't realize I had so much inflammation and I didn't realize that I was struggling as much as I was in those pictures looking at today. And I truly 100% owe it all to Plexus. Like I would not be able to feel the way that I feel, be energized, stress-free, be a calm and patient mom, and be able to get up and work my shifts and not feel fatigued. I was sleeping through most of my shifts if I could. And it just I just feel so much better. Like I it's so hard to put into work how great I feel after truly, truly like building a relationship with the products and knowing what they're for and knowing that I no longer have to take acid reflux medication or blood pressure medication. I don't, I struggled from super bad headaches and I no longer have to do that. I'm no longer constipated. You don't realize that you have 5 feet of colon that can hold up to 25 pounds of poo, crap, and you like when somebody tells you, "Oh, you're going to struggle using the bathroom." Well, she didn't ever the OB never said, "Hey, you're supposed to be using the bathroom every time you eat." I didn't know that. I was 23 years old, pregnant with my son, like so then finding out, you're supposed to live, your body's supposed to function in a way that it should naturally, and these supplements have just ugh, like, being able to fit into clothes that I'm less weight now than I was when I was pregnant with both of my children, and, I just I absolutely love these products. I mean, I can't speak enough about them. And I know that Stacey's seen some of my weight loss pictures, but it truly, truly like being able to go out and have Mexican and not and love Mexican with my husband and not feel like absolute crap or run to the bathroom or know that I'm going to spend the most of the evening feeling like I've got a fire in my chest. It truly, truly, I mean, these products, if you use them the way that they're designed to use and you move your body and you make the proper changes in your diet wholeheartedly, they will do so much wonder for you.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. I really appreciate you hopping on to share that with us. And I love hearing, somebody who's taking these products during pregnancies, because that is often a question we get from mamas with babies. Can I take this while I'm pregnant? And is it going to affect me? And it's wonderful to hear these stories of positivity coming out of taking the products during pregnancy. So thank you so much.
Of course. And I also nursed with both of my children using the products. So,
Wonderful. And I bet that your milk production had increased as well,
oh
probably.
my gosh, I had freezers full.
That's
I
that's
mean, I'm blessed by that, but yes, I luckily I was able to my son I nursed for 18 months and my daughter I nursed her for 2.5. So well not 2.5, two like 2 years, but we finished up the milk in the freezer for 2.5. So
that's
yeah.
amazing. Amazing. Well, thank you.
Of course.
So I'm gonna piggyback what Caitlin said about how when you use the products the way they were intended to be used on a daily, consistent basis, that they really do have an incredible impact on your overall health. And I can speak for myself when I say the same things, such as, when I started taking these products 2.5 years ago, I came to them because of digestion issues and, as most people want, weight loss. but weight loss is really secondary to our overall health. And we have to have our body in balance before our body will release that extra weight. And I did not realize the amount of inflammation that I was also carrying around. And I can see it, and I didn't notice it as I was being consistent with these products over time until I saw a picture of myself and was like, oh my gosh, I have eyes again. You know, my face wasn't as puffy. And even though the scale wasn't dropping so much, my clothes were fitting better. I was feeling better. I had major digestion issues, lots of food sensitivities. I was on, if you have heard of it, the FODMAP diet, which is an extremely exclusive diet to pretty much what I call carrots and celery. I mean, there's zero garlic, zero onion, and there's garlic powder and onion powder and everything. Lots of things I had to eliminate. And I would only feel a little bit better after eliminating all those things, because what I didn't realize was I wasn't getting to the root of the issue, which was the fact that my gut was really out of whack, that my microbiome was so imbalanced. And just by avoiding certain foods, that wasn't helping me get to the root of the issue. And so I had seen multiple people, my primary doctor, specialists. I went to a naturopath. I had stool samples, I had blood work, I was put on all different things. And ultimately, it came down to my gut was out of balance. The bacteria in my gut was out of balance. My blood sugar was out of balance. And I was also on thyroid medication. I had terrible, terrible periods. My menstruation was awful. I mean, half of a month I was in pain. I would miss a day of work or two every single month because I'd be doubled over in pain. And because of the consistency and beneficial ingredients in these products, I no longer experience that type of pain. And if I do have a little bit of pain, I take one of our products called Ease, this powerhouse anti-inflammatory, and it works wonders. So, I have since been able to come off of my thyroid medication because my insulin is balanced, and your insulin is your master conductor of all other hormones in your body. And so when those come back into balance, as do your metabolism, your mood, your energy, all the things. And so I am certainly a lifer, since I have realized the amount of things that these products can do for me that I had no idea. My skin, my hair, all the things. When your body is getting the nutrients that it needs, all the things come into play. So absolutely excited to share about my journey, but also next with you, one of the key players for a lot of us here that we call the Slim, AKA pink drink. So cheers to that. If you don't have one yet, I'm going to guarantee you're going to want to get one after this call because of the amount of things that it can do for you. And there are so many things that it can do for you that I had to make a large bulleted list because of the benefits of Slim. So Slim comes in two different kinds, okay? We have the microbiome activating and the hunger control. The microbiome activating Slim is actually patented by the US government for improving gut health. Its primary focus is improving gut health and balancing blood sugar. The other kind, hunger control's primary purpose is to support appetite control as well as blood sugar balance. So all of the ingredients in the two different kinds are the same, except for the prebiotic fiber, because the prebiotic fiber that comes in the microbiome kind really focuses more on your gut health and feeding those beneficial bacteria in your gut. The prebiotic fiber called polydextrose that is in hunger control has an element to it that supports satiety and appetite control. So folks that are looking to lose weight or maybe cut back on those carbs and sugars may want to try hunger control and have it 30 to 60 minutes before their largest meal to support that goal. Something that I found interesting about the microbiome activating is that it's best consumed within 1 to 2 hours. And that's because over time, as it sits, it just loses some of the potency of the nutrients. It doesn't become harmful. You can still drink it. It just loses some of its potency if it's not consumed within 1 to 2 hours. On the contrary, the hunger control is better sipped on. Because of the polydextrose, it breaks down at a slower rate, and so it's better consumed more slowly. Something else interesting that you should know about our Slim is that there are only trace amounts of caffeine in it that your body cannot detect, except in our sweet tea flavor. There's 25 milligrams, which is a very small amount since there's about 80 to 90 milligrams in a cup of coffee. So for comparison purposes, there's only 25 milligrams of caffeine in our sweet tea flavor. You can mix them with any other Plexus drink. As Caitlin shared, it is safe during pregnancy. Some of the key ingredients are chromium, which is an essential mineral that enhances our insulin functioning. That's the ingredient that helps balance those blood sugars. And when you have balanced blood sugar, you have more sustained energy, better mood, better metabolism. There's also chlorogenic acid, which comes from the green coffee bean extract. This is really key in increasing your metabolism. It boosts your Akkermansia, which is a gut bacteria, by almost 300%. And what that does is improve your metabolic health. It reduces inflammation in the body. It regulates your insulin resistance. And ladies in your late 40s and over who may be going through perimenopause, menopause symptoms, that is key. Increasing Akkermansia to regulate insulin resistance is going to reduce the effects of that, those perimenopause, menopausal symptoms. It also has Garcinia cambogia fruit extract, which is going to help convert carbs and sugars into energy so that they don't get stored as fat. And alpha lipoic acid, which is a potent antioxidant. And we have this antioxidant in every cell in our body. And so it helps sort of recycle that so that our cells are available to take in vitamins such as vitamin C and vitamin E. Alpha lipoic acid can also slow the aging process in skin. So that's why if you see somebody taking Plexus supplements consistently, you probably see that they're glowing because we are literally aging backwards. We are fighting the aging process using these incredible products with all these amazing natural ingredients. There is nothing artificial in any of the products. What gives this its pink color is beetroot extract. So again, it is all natural and it gets its color from beetroot. Beetroot actually has a number of beneficial properties to it as well. It helps to reduce inflammation in the body. It fights stress. It helps fat digestion. And then the last two would be the sweetener. Everybody wonders, what is it sweetened with? It's sweetened with natural sweeteners, something that is difficult for me to say, called luo han guo, I believe that's pronounced that way. It's a natural sweetener. It works as an antioxidant to also improve immune function. So something else that we often hear from folks who are taking Plexus supplements consistently is they experience less illness and get colds less frequently, because what we're doing is building up our immune system, because 70% of your immune system actually is in your gut. And people on these supplements are happier because 95% of our neurotransmitters like serotonin, GABA, dopamine, those are our happy hormones. Those are produced in our gut. Oftentimes people think those are things that come from our brain, but this is where that gut-brain axis comes into play. So overall, I think I have covered all of my bullet points on Slim that I wanted to share. And cheers. I'm going to hand it over to Stacy. And if you are new here, I want to remind you, please make sure that you put your email in the chat so we can get a gift sent off to you for sharing your time with us this evening. If you would like to stay on and hang out with us, you are welcome to. Otherwise, we're going to move into the next portion of our call.
All right. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you, Stacy. That's amazing to hear your stories, and then also great information about Slim. I've been drinking it for goodness, well, 9 years now, and I didn't know some of that stuff. So I appreciate some new knowledge about it. We are excited. If you would like to stay on with us, we would love to have you. I have invited my amazing friend, Jordan Reynolds, to join us tonight. And quite frankly, she is a social media expert. She's all nervous that I just said that, but she is. She has been with Plexus since 2013. I think she was just like a teenager when she started, so that's really exciting. She has a following now of 140,000 plus people across her social media platforms. She built an email list of 4,000 in 2 years. She loves to simplify social media for busy people. Do we have any busy people here? Anybody? Yes? Because she believes that we haven't even scratched the surface on what we can do and who we can impact. And so I'm excited just to have my friend Jordan here. Jordan and I met, it would have been in 2023, so last year. We were in Brooke Hemingway's mastermind together, her 6-month mastermind. And so Jordan and I got to really know one another, and I adore her, and I'm super excited for you to hear from her tonight. So I'm going to be quiet and let Jordan share with us.
Thank you, Stacy. I'm so excited to be here with y'all tonight. I love questions, and so if y'all are cool with it at the end, like leave them all in the chat and we'll go through them. I am just so excited to be here. I just love Stacy so much. And I also love making social media extremely simple. So I think I need to be the host. Oh, actually, I can do it. Yay. I love visuals. And so we're going to go through some things tonight. If there's anything that comes up and you're like, man, like I really, really like that, I'm going to try to do that on my own, write it down. There will be some things that I say and you might be like, not for me. That's totally fine. But you will find some things in here that you're like, I can do that. I can recreate that. Let's go. Because I think that now more than ever, like people need what we have. I've been in Plexus since 2013 and people are looking for this, you guys, even now. And if you've been with, Plexus as long as Stacy, like people will come back around too. And so you want to be the one out there talking about it, sharing about it. And there's a way to do it without, being weird. If you've ever been weird, like I was weird back in like 2014-ish. It was kind of weird. And there's ways that you can like share your story and just be yourself. And I love to share all of that. And if you are, busy, I first built Plexus in college. Then I, continued building it into working a 9 to 5. And so I hope that this helps you guys. So let's do it. Grab a pen and paper. I've got my active here because I'm on Central Time, but we're going to go through it today. Can you guys see everything? Ish. Yes. Okay. Sweet. Okay. So take screenshots if you guys want. I also, at the end, I have 5 trending audios for Instagram and how to use them that I'll drop for Stacy, and she can share them with you guys as well. So it's really, really, really cool right now is that people are looking on social media for, health advice. I love numbers. I'm a data person, and I just feel like that number is going to keep going up, especially now that people are like, hey, this actually has something, to do with it. Gut health is huge right now. And so 76% of people, you guys, have bought a product after seeing it on social media, and that's really, really good news for us. They're going to get it from someone, so it might as well be from you. And social media is free. I don't think like there's a better time now, and the resources that we have at our fingertips, literally, that we can share anything that we want, which is so cool. So I'm going to start with Facebook, and then we'll move into Instagram. I had a couple requests for those 2 platforms, and that's what we'll focus on tonight. So Facebook posts. Facebook is like the place that it's, your people, you can really be yourself. It's people that you know for the most part, or you have mutual friends. And so I love to keep it really warm and fun on Facebook. I think that recipes, whether you are a chef kind of person or you're like me, where you didn't really grow up cooking, but you can make a protein shake, you can make an omelet, you can make a bowl. Believe it or not, like the protein cookies that I made that I found off of Pinterest from years ago, that is the thing that people will message me about, and they'll say, what were those? What was that recipe? Or those protein bites? What were those recipes? Can you share that with me? And so it doesn't have to be, this big, huge thing, but find something that you, create that's like healthy, and you can post it every once in a while. And people bond over food. And so recipes are a great way to start getting people coming to your page, and they're like, okay, Stacy's posting this, like she's living a healthy lifestyle. You're showing, that lifestyle, and people are like, okay, cool. I wonder what else she does. And so what else you can do, showing your life. A lot of people see my social media and they think, man, she posts everything. And I really don't, guys. Like I'm a very actual private person. And so there's ways you can post, your life without sharing everything. And so I think putting quotes from Pinterest, you can go to Pinterest and you can save quotes from there, and you can post those on your Facebook page, on your Facebook stories, Instagram stories. People love motivation. And so you have recipes, like you're hitting them with that, and then you're hitting them with quotes. And so they're like, oh my gosh, Tamara's so positive. This is so great. I love her. Oh, she's posting about Plexus. That's really cool. What's Plexus? And so you're kind of like showing them that you're talking the talk, you're also walking the walk too. Some other things you can do to kind of reinforce like Plexus without being like, hey, buy my pink drink, share testimonies. And so I'm sure you guys have a page, but I always say like we are a huge family here with Plexus. And so I always say, this is my friend Tamara, this is my friend Carrie, and then share their story. If they have a before and after, cool. If not, just a photo of themselves is cool. But people really like to find themselves within stories. And so testimonies are huge for that as well. And then I think weekends, you can share like family photos if you're comfortable. I don't have kiddos yet, but I do have dogs, and best believe I will put them out there because they are expensive and they need to earn their keep. And so I'm like, here, Ollie and Rin, like we're gonna go take a picture. But they just do really well. And then I think anytime you go to the gym, like showing that you're being active, showing that active lifestyle, that's like how you can kind of bring wellness and throw Plexus in there at the same time. I always have either an active or a pink drink in some photos, whether I'm hiking, going to the gym, if I'm traveling, stuff like that. It kind of starts putting it out there for people, and they see that, okay, like Stacy's doing this all the time. Like I see it in her life. And I wanted to say too, with Facebook, like asking questions with that question box. Does anybody have questions about that on there? It's like, it could be you ask a question on your page and it's either purple or blue, and you can change the background. Is anybody lost on that? Because I can show you. We're good. Yes, no, maybe so.
No, I'm lost. Show me. Are you talking
Okay.
about just like a background that you'd put a question
Yes.
on? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I think one thing I saw today was, what's one thing that you do every year for Christmas with your family? And so if you ask questions like that, you can even search on Google questions for Facebook posts. and literally you'll find so many. And so you don't have to think about that, which is nice. But whenever you ask those questions, basically people love to give their opinion. And so it's a great way to get engagement. And so if you're like, oh my gosh, this is like drinking from a fire hose, just take the pieces that feel really good to you and leave the rest. These are like kind of a daily checklist that I do for Facebook. You guys can take a picture of it if you want. I think that birthdays used to be a really important thing, but I think that what's more important now is engaging in stories. And so, every day on Facebook, I do a post. I engage for 10 minutes with my list. I'll post like 3 stories from Instagram. They go automatically to Facebook. You can do that within the Instagram app if you want. If not, you can just post on Facebook. And then if I have more time, I'll tap through stories for 5 minutes and I'll like leave comments on people's stories or I'll heart them. I feel like people are more active on their stories. And so that's where I like to engage because I feel like also that pushes me into their direct messages. And so we can start a conversation there. So if you are limited on time, that's what I would recommend. And when I say lists, Raquel, I'm saying like if you have, let's say you have a friend group that like you grew up with that that like Jennifer, Rachel, and Sarah really, really need the products, like you'll go engage with them. If there's people that you've grown up with that you have a list for, or people that like, you really want to do the business or the products, like that's kind of what I mean with a list. I think having a list is super important because if not, it's kind of like going into the gym and hoping that your workout will be good. If you go with a plan, you're going to be way more successful. At least that's me. So I would make a list and I just keep my list on my phone on my notes app. It's just super simple. And then I just get it done. So with Facebook, what I recommend doing, this is like the easiest way that I teach my team. You're posting every single day, but we have Motivation Monday. We're pulling that motivational quote from Pinterest, so we don't have to create it, no Canva, none of that. We're literally just taking it, saving it, posting it. We can also post it on our stories, which is cool. And then 2, Testimony Tuesday. That's a good thing to remember. So you're just posting a testimony. Wednesdays are great for recipes, asking a question, showing your healthy lifestyle. And Thursdays are also great because people are in a good mood for the weekend. And so you can post like a pink drink picture of you doing something active. Fridays, if there's ever a day that you are like, I need a break, do it Friday. It's across the board, like the worst for engagement. But on the weekends, Saturday is great for like a sweet spot to kind of show what you guys are doing. And then Sunday night are absolutely amazing for either posting something about the business, sharing a story, anything like that. And so if you guys want to take a photo of this, it kind of makes it less scary when you think about it. You only have to find 7 things to post about every week. That is it. Like that's it. It's awesome. So, and I think kind of having like Motivational Monday, Testimony Tuesday, all of that just kind of makes things like, okay, it's every single week and I don't really have to think about it. Questions on Facebook so far? Okay, cool. Yay. And then Instagram. Is anybody like scared now that we're in Instagram? Stacy's like, yes. I promise it's not as scary as you guys think. Think about it like this. It's kind of fun. Like you never know what you're going to get. That is the truth right there. You just don't know. But you also don't know who you're going to be able to like impact and help. And that's really, really exciting. Yay. Awesome. I'm glad it's helpful. So on Instagram right now, what I'm seeing with my clients and myself, Reels are still the best way to grow. And what's fantastic is like you can do Reels super simply, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. The greatest thing too, if you've been with Plexus for a long time, or if you just have a ton of photos on your phone, carousels with music are the second best way to grow right now. And so what I mean by carousels is you're posting a post on Instagram with more than one photo. And what's really great is you can add text on there, which is fantastic. And you have music and you can have a caption, which is really cool. And so I love carousels for growth. I think it's fantastic. Carrie, Reels are like a video that you post onto the Reels feed and you can put text on it if you want. And then stories are the little bubbles at the top on Instagram. And you're basically sharing like your day-to-day stuff. So here is where the stories would be, the little bubbles right here. And then whenever you go to your reel feed is down here. So it's like the thing that looks like a little movie with a plus sign on the bottom. And then a carousel. I love carousels. Keep them coming, y'all. We're going to go to it. So I did a little series called the Habit Reboot series on my page. And so here I have a photo of me with text, and I have a bunch of different little photos in here. And so I pulled all these photos from like the last 3 years. These are not new. What's cool too is, so you see this photo right here, it's super aesthetic and cute. My house does not look like that. So you can also go onto Pinterest and you can search wellness, aesthetic, fitness, aesthetic, gut health, aesthetic, and you can take those photos and make them into a carousel. So it's awesome. So if you are in a pinch, like you can go on there and then make a carousel. It's awesome. And yes, they show on the feed. They now show on the Reels feed if you add music to your carousel, which is awesome. Yep. And
Jordan, can I just mention that for some of these things you're showing us, and maybe I'm the only one, it's hard to see because you're just a little box. So when you stop sharing, will you quickly show us those things again?
I'll show you now.
Okay, perfect. And you guys, if you want to see her even larger, you can go up to view and do speaker view, and then it will be just Jordan on the page, or she's going to show us this way. That's even easier.
Yeah. Okay. Can you all see my page? Okay, cool. So we're going to come down here. So this carousel I was showing y'all, let me find it here. So what's awesome is like this photo is like 3 years old. You would never know. So I added, this is from Pinterest. That's not me, obviously. That's not me. That's not me. That's not me. So I pulled all these photos from Pinterest. So you can do that if you want. You can add text on here and add music. And so what they're doing now is they're actually in the Reels feed and they're pushing it really, really hard. So how you could apply it is a morning routine that you do. Let's say you have coffee, pink drink, you walk your dog outside, you get ready, you do your makeup, and then you have a photo of you walking to the car. Boom, you're done. And that's like super simple. And then you can reuse all of that over and over again if you want to. Another way you could do it is like making a meal. You could take people through each step. You could also do a night routine. You could say, these are my wellness staples. This is what I've done to really help my PCOS. This is what I've done to help my bloating issues. The 5 things I do to help with my bloating and gut health. So once you start thinking about it, you're like, oh my gosh, I have so many ideas. And so it's kind of cool because if you have a lot of photos, you can repurpose those over and over again. Let's see.
You said they're in Reels? They do carousels as Reels now?
Yeah. So they are actually going to show up in the Reels feed. So whenever you are on your phone doing it, you'll actually click on the plus sign to get to either stories, posts, or Reels. You'll stay in posts.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know how to do carousels. I'm like, but am I supposed to be doing them as Reels? So, but they just are saved as Reels.
Yeah, as
Got
long as you add a music to it, it'll be
Oh, okay.
Reels feed, and so it's really, really cool. So I'm really excited about them.
Well, thanks. Sorry, I was confused for a second.
No, it's good. So another thing I wanted to show you guys, if the only thing you get from this is like, okay, I'm going to take a video of me making my pink drink, that's what I want y'all to do. Seriously, I'm trying to find a photo of it. Is this one gonna work? That's not me. Because you can reuse it over and over and over and over again. But I wanted to find this specific reel because if you guys can recreate it, I promise you it will work really well. If I can't find it, I'll send it to Stacy. Here it is. So I'm not even in that reel. But I just took my phone and I filmed it like this. and I put it together in the Instagram app, and that's it. And so if you think, oh my gosh, my house isn't like enough, I literally shoved stuff out of the way to make that reel. So it's okay. But all you need is this guy right here. If you don't have a tripod, I always, before it was a thing, I would use this and I would put my phone here and it would stay up because I have this cup behind it. So you definitely don't need anything to start. I think though, like starting is the best way. Can I show you how to make a carousel? I don't think I can on my phone because I'm not on there, but I can do a tutorial and send it to Stacy because I have one made already. Are you cool with that? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go back. Yeah, it's just really fun. It's just different ways that you get to express yourself and show like your wellness journey, who you are, your morning routine, night routine, all of that. And it's just kind of fun. So with Instagram though too, like I recommend getting in your stories every single day, whether it's you posting that quote from Pinterest to make things really simple, posting a photo of your pink drink and then like yourself maybe talking sometimes throughout the week. So you can share like some client wins you have, you can share what you're doing with your family, you can share different things like tonight with Stacy sharing everything about, Slim, be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this about the pink drink that I was taking. And so you can share stuff like that. I think overcomplicating it and sitting and like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do is kind of where I was at one point in my journey too. And sitting down and being like, okay, what do I want to do is important. And then it leads me into batching. This will get you out of that like analysis paralysis, because if we are busy, which most of us are, most of us have kiddos, most of us have things going on, batching content will be the way that you guys can stay consistent on Facebook and Instagram. And when I say batch content, what I'm meaning is you're basically making all of your reels at one time for the week, which is really fun, so that you can then go do things that you actually want to do. Yeah. So how to batch content. This is the simplest way to do it. This is what I teach my clients. You're going to pick one day a week to batch your content. For me, mine's Saturday. And then you're going to film all of it. And you're going to then edit it. And what's cool about Instagram now is you can actually schedule it. Did you all know you could schedule content? It's like so great. You can schedule reels and I'm like, thank you. So happy. So if I can get it on my phone, I'll show you guys exactly how to do it. But before I do it, before you batch, I actually think this is going to be so much better if I go on my phone. Let me join. You actually can come in here and prep so that it's the easiest thing ever. Here we go. Okay, I'm in. Here we go. Okay, so this is exactly what I do if you guys want to follow along on your phone. We're going to go to
She and
Instagram.
Paris Hilton, welcome to Call Her Daddy.
Thanks, bitch.
Thank you.
Who had the stricter parents growing up?
Well, I had security.
Give me 1 second, y'all. Here we go. We're just going to go here for a second. It's safe. Okay. So we're going to go over to my page. So thing here. We're all going to start here. And you're going to go click on the top right with the little dashes. And what's cool is you can come to saved here and you're able to save posts. And so you can save, like I have content for the week here. And so I've saved sounds and I've also saved reels. And so I can then come in here and I'm like, okay, I have 7 posts I need to do. and I already have the sound that I need, and I can just plug in, like, let's say I have a video of me journaling. I have another video of me walking outside, and then I have a video of me making my pink drink. And then I have like, I'll send you guys a B-roll list too, but I have all these videos that I'm doing and I'm like, okay, I have all of my sounds ready. And then all I just have to do is add text on screen and then captions. And it just makes things so much simpler. Is that helpful? And then Janelle asked me, is there a recommended amount of time on Reels? I think Reels that are 7 to like 15 seconds long do the best. B-roll is just video, yeah. And so what's really cool is you can just come in and plug it in, which is great. Let me see.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see me, but I the saved ones, those are for like you're getting ideas of just the sounds that you like, and then you're repurposing those. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so if I save all these, I'm seeing, okay, like these are doing really well because on the bottom left, they have a little check mark there or a little arrow, and that means they're trending when you're scrolling through Reels. And so I'm like, okay, this is cool. I'll save 7 sounds. And then I know I need to go film like 7 different B-rolls, and then I just plug them in. And therefore, I'm not like having to just scroll through after I do all that. I have it all here. And so when you're scrolling, there's like little dots, 3 dots on the bottom right, and you can click save on Reels, Reel sounds, and also carousels. So if Carol posts something awesome, you're like, man, I really, really want to do what she's doing, then you can save that carousel and then you can recreate it with yourself. Does that make sense?
How do you reuse a sound?
So we can come, if I do it, it's gonna be loud, y'all. So I'm just warning you now. Okay, so we'll go to my page. So I'm gonna use this because I know it's not as low.
And work out with me from home.
Basically that. So you can clone through, and then on the top left there, you can tap that sound, or on the bottom left, you can tap that sound, and then it'll take you to use sound, and you'll click use sound, and then it'll take you to your camera roll. And then once I tap this, like let's say that's a video, I would click next, and then that sound is on my reel. Does that make sense?
I'm gonna have to rewatch this video. Okay, I think I could do it.
Yeah. So that's kind of how you do it. And then you would like add text then. And what's cool is I'll just go really quickly. We'll click this guy. We'll click next. Go right through it. And so then I'm going to click my caption here, do my hashtags. And let's just pretend I put text on that video and I edited it. And then
Okay.
come down. So we're going to move all the way down here to more options. And I can click schedule this reel. And so let's say I'm going to schedule it for tomorrow at 7:55. Done. So then I can come back here and I can click schedule. So if I didn't do that, it would say post or share. So now it says schedule. So if I were to click the schedule button, it like is good to go and I'm good for tomorrow, which is really awesome. And again, it's just on the bottom with more options, and then you can come to schedule.
Do you type in the search something related to what it is that you want to post, or you're just going straight to what's trending and then repurposing ideas?
So what I do is I will come on here and I'll just go into Reels. And so what I'm looking for on the bottom left here, there is like an arrow. And that's what I'm looking for whenever I want to see if it's trending. And so then I'll click this guy right here and click save.
Okay.
If I'm on my phone, I would click this and then I would click save would come up and then I could put it into a specific like album, but I'm on my desktop. But what I'm looking for is like, okay, cool. This girl's in a coffee shop. I probably could recreate that really easily. She's putting on her lip gloss. I don't have to do it exactly like that, but I'm like, cool, that's number one. And then this is outside. It seems like there's a lot of like B-roll that I don't have to go recreate. And so I'm like, save. And if you guys are just getting started, these right here, as long as they're clean, they're like mouthing the words. This is a great way to get your account off the ground first, because people will stay because you're doing multiple things. You're saying something. You also might have something in your hand, and then you have text above you. And that's really, really important. And so if you haven't tried this yet, as long as it makes sense for you, I would recommend doing it. But I'm looking for like multiple B-rolls I can use, a couple trends I can do. And then like just like B-rolls I can reuse. Like this girl's just in her car. And so, but the big thing is looking for the bottom left there with that trending audio. What that means is it basically will help you in your content get out there better. And if it's just has a music note by it, then I really don't like to use it, just because I want to give myself the best chance to get in front of people.
So Jordan, I think there's just some confusion about B-roll, and I will tell you, I just learned about it at my last mom retreat back in November. So don't feel bad if you don't know anything about it. It literally is, you're just taking videos. Like the person that came as my keynote speaker said, will you take B-roll for me? And I'm like, will I do what? Video. Will I just take some video? And then she can use that video and plop it into a story, and you're gonna not necessarily use, you know, the sound from that. You can turn down the sound and you can put some music over it. There's all different kinds of ways to do that, but we can go down a huge rabbit hole, right? You can see with social media, and I want Jordan to be able to share the rest of what she has to share with us. And then she's also going to share with us at the end some ways that you could continue to work with her if you are feeling like, I love somebody said, Wilma Flintstone. And so if that's how you're feeling, or even if you're not even feeling quite that bad about social media, then you still might want to work with Jordan, and she's going to share with us a couple of different ways, one of which is a free challenge that she has coming up that starts on Thursday that I'm excited to do. So Jordan, we're going to let you finish, and then you can tell us about how we could continue to pick your brain and learn from you.
Yeah, I just dropped a B-roll list in there. So if you're like, okay, I am terrified, start here, get these videos this week, and then I love Brock and Shailene. They have so much to offer. So I'm so glad Carol shared that. You can use audios that they share. I'm going to give you 5 too, and I'll send it to Stacy so she can share it with you guys. All you're going to do then is take those videos, and then you're going to add the trending audio to it, put text on screen, and do a little caption. Doesn't have to be a huge paragraph or like a book, but just add something to it and get it out there. And I promise y'all, once you start, it will be less scary. Because right now it's just like, I think the anxiety of starting is probably what's keeping you guys stuck if you haven't, you know, been consistent. But it's not as scary as you think. Get on a cute outfit, get your phone up, get in good lighting, and just get it out there and be like, okay, I'm done. And then go get a coffee or something, or go for a walk, like reward yourself and be like, we're done. But yeah, let's keep going. But I definitely wanted you guys to have that list, because I think that it's just, sometimes we make it a little more complicated. Okay. Batch content, if you guys want to take a photo of that, and then I'll keep going. We're almost done. Okay, I'm going. Okay. And then with stories, I think it's a good like idea to have a good mix. So when I say going live in your stories, grab your phone and just talk to it and say, my gosh, my friend Stacy just shared all about the pink drink, and I didn't know that it had this, this, and this. I'm so glad I take it. It's helped me with this. If you guys are interested, DM me pink, or let me know, or just give them like something to do next. but it doesn't have to be a whole lot, and it doesn't have to be a whole like spiel. You can get it done really quickly. The more you do it, the more comfortable you'll be. I think showing your day to day is really cool. And then I think showing your face at least once is important. And using elements like the polls are really cool too. So you could say, what are you wanting to improve this winter? And it could be energy, it could be sleep, it could be, then after that, it could be health goals, then it could be gut health. But having 3 to 7 stories every day just kind of helps people see that like you're being consistent. Raquel is out there like showing everybody that she's, you know, showing up for this gut health stuff. And whenever they're ready, they're going to go to her because she's showing up. But just getting out there is important. And then I like to always go over the products really quick because I think that like the simple is best. And so I think a selfie still is fantastic in 2024, almost 2025. Just get your active or pink drink, take a picture of it. Y'all are cute, getting good lighting. Add a filter if you want. I do it. You can add testimonies. I think also giving health information and showing them that you're living a healthy lifestyle, whether you go to a Zumba class.
Get the fucking
Zumba class, and then I think like if you're doing a recipe, that's good too. And I think keeping it positive, especially going into next year, I feel like a lot of people are looking for that. And if they think Raquel is not only showing up, she's encouraging everybody, she's super positive, they're like, okay, like she's my girl, I'm gonna work with her. With reels, to keep it super, super simple, make the pink drink, do the B-roll list. And something that you could put on there on the text on screen on the pink drink video is you could say, this is the thing that made me quit drinking 90 ounces of soda a day, or that's just my story. This is the thing that helped me not be bloated as much. This is the thing my friend Stacy shared that I no longer wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So if it's been a minute since you've looked at your story again, I encourage you to sit down and think, what did I used to feel like? Because you'll be able to pull things like, because most people don't feel the way we do in Plexus. And so think about, okay, I used to drink soda. How did it make me feel? I used to wake up and be exhausted. What did that do for my day to day? How did I show up at work? How did I show up with my kiddos? And how do I feel now? Because people will relate to that. And then again, with stories, like you can make the pink drink, you can talk to the camera, add in testimonies, and polls too are super, super great. And then just keeping it simple. Just remember, like, be you. Nobody can be you better than you. And so when you're showing up in the beginning, it's going to be messy, but that's okay. And you're just going to get better. And so just be okay with that process. And then whenever you are busy, because it will happen, motivational quotes, showing the pets, and recipes are how you can get your page and your engagement up and how you can show up really easily. If you're wanting to kind of get some other things going that will help you with your like content journey, I think having an Octobuddy is really great. What it is it's like a suction cup that goes on the back of your phone, and you can put it onto windows, any glass surface. And so then you have a better angle for your videos. Not necessary, but if you want to, it's cool. It's on Amazon. A good tripod is great. I know Stacy has the one that Brooke got us, and it is phenomenal. I love it because you can travel with it. And then the light that I have right here is amazing because now this is what my dungeon of a house looks like. So if you turn it back on, it just changes things, and there's so many different settings. For me, when I was working my 9 to 5, I did a lot of content at night. And so I needed this guy right here. And what you can do is you can clip it to your phone. And so it just makes things really simple. And you can get this on Amazon too. I think it's like $10. So you definitely don't need it to start. I think just like if you want some other things in the future, they're great. And I love to give homework before I go. So what we're going to be doing is posting 3 times on social media this week. If at any point you have like questions and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this, you totally can message me. I would love to help you through it. But posting 3 times just like gets you out of your like comfort zone, and you can start. And then let's say in a month you're doing 5 times a week and you're like, oh, this is so great. And you're gonna be showing up in your stories at least 3 times a day just to kind of get you going and get you back into that routine if you haven't been. And if you have been, then just like keep going. And then for this weekend, since we're meeting on Tuesday, I want y'all to decide a day this week to create like a content plan and batch. Because that's going to help you, especially going into next week with family. Anybody else have family? Like it's going to be crazy. And so that helps me not just ghost people for 5 or 6 days. So yeah. My last thing I want to tell you guys, 2 things. One thing that I'm doing right now that I'm really excited about is I made an Instagram course and it was like my heart and soul. I worked on it for 6 months and it actually has tutorials. If you're like, okay, I understand the concept, but I don't know the how, like where do I punch buttons at? It will teach you that. It teaches content creation. It teaches systems, funnels, if you want to do that too. Carousel posts, gives you hook ideas. I actually give you guys 75 of those with that course and like what to put for text on screen. And so if y'all want to do that, I'll go ahead and drop like the link for that and would love to help you with it. It's amazing. And I gave it to my mentorship first and they loved it. So if you're wanting like tutorials, it's fantastic. Another thing that I want to give you guys that's free is I'm going to be doing a 12 Days of Christmas social media challenge. We start on the 12th. It is open to anyone. Nothing is required whatsoever. And I will drop that link as well. I think it's going to be so fun. And we have almost 100 people in it, which is crazy. And every day you'll be getting like a trending audio for me, how to use it. And it's going to be so fun. So if you guys want to be in it, holler. And it's open, so you guys can just go in there. There's going to be lots of fun. So yeah, that's everything.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Jordan. You guys, I don't know if you noticed that, and she didn't talk about it, but her course is, did you see? $297. Is that right, Jordan? Did I see that? And she's offering it to us for $50. So there's a code wellness. If you wanted to do that I think if you're overwhelmed by Instagram, which I feel like many of us are, that would be definitely a great place to start. So I will tell you, I am going to do that. If any of you want to do it with me, we could create a thread to support one another through the modules, through the exercises, through the activities. Let me know. I would love to do that with you. The other thing is I am doing the 12-day challenge. So if you are interested in doing that, again, I would love just that accountability to make me and all of you who want to do that with me go and do the things. The course would be when we sign up, it's a ready-made course. Is that correct, Jordan?
It's self-paced, and what's really cool about it is I will be adding to it because it's never the same. I feel like they change it all the time. And so it will be like always changing. And you guys also have like my live calls for my first mentorship. And once the second one starts in January, all those calls will go in there as well. So you guys will see those pop in there also.
Well, that's amazing. All right. So the other thing I will tell you, I don't know if you noticed this, but Jordan said many times she's going to send me things that I need to share with you. So I just highly suggest that you all be really nice to me for the next however long until she gets those to me and I get them out to you. So yay. So excited. Any questions before we hop off? Jordan, thank you so much. That was really helpful. And I had no idea that I could add, well, I didn't know it was called a carousel. I've done it before by accident, but I also didn't know you could add music and words. And I just found out that you can, like I did it. Not that I didn't believe you, but I had to practice and I did it and it's there. And it's so, you guys, it's ever changing. Social media, as we all know, is ever changing. So to have somebody like Jordan who is keeping up with the changes and can help us more experienced in life ladies, I didn't say older, I said more experienced in life, keep up with the trends it's such a blessing. So thank you, sweet friend. I appreciate you being here. I know it's late for those of us on the East Coast, so go drink your calming cocoa or your Restore and take your other stuff and go to bed.
Thank you guys. If y'all
Thank
have any questions, let me know.
All right, thank you.